Alright, here we go. Figure I'd make a video. I'm a little late today, driving home. I'm driving home after I had like a house meeting with all my guys, but all my guys weren't there because I didn't remind them. So again, a folly on my part. Let's see. Did no workout today, so that was a negative. Just, man, it's been so difficult for me to wake up on time. So I really got to get my act together. I got to make sure that I wake up in the morning tomorrow. A big thing for me was like, I ate a shitload of ice cream yesterday, like last night, and like of course I'm not gonna get the best sleep when there's that much sugar in my system. So yeah, I fucked up that way. Other than that, not much has been going on. Yeah, just getting some things in order and trying to make some calls, trying to get something paid off. Honestly, just trying to get my car paid off, and I think I could get that paid off pretty much. And just trying to work on that, because if I can get my car paid off, that's because I only have about 800 left. So if I can get that paid off, that'll be fucking huge, and I can really. I can eventually just afford, life a little bit better, like not having a car payment ever, like with that car again would be fucking awesome. So yeah, trying to get that. I'm trying to get my raise set up. I'm trying to get my money squared away as far as that goes, because what's the other thing that's coming up that I'm trying to get squared away? I'm gonna get a raise. And that's been in the works for a while. That's been in the works for like 2 months. So I'm gonna get some back pay, and that should be like $400 or $500. Plus getting about $200 more a month, because my raise is about like $1.50 more. So that'll be huge to get those things in order, because that way I'd be able to save like 400. I would say probably $400 a month more. So that'll be huge, honestly. And I want to start VRNE again, or veteran, do Voc Rehab again. And if I can get Voc Rehab, that'll put like 1,000 in my pocket, plus give me a better degree. So I'm gonna try to work on that. Main thing is just what degree and whatnot, but I could probably go to a school that's online and just get that 1,000, but that'll be a little harder to do just because I have already used Voc Rehab, so we'll see. I have appointments coming up with my VA disability, so hopefully get that higher. Honestly, just get a lot more things in motion. Once I get those things in motion, I'll be pretty good financially. So just working on that, and trying to make that a possibility. Let's see what else. I gotta work out, like I said. I gotta work out. And from there, a lot of things will come to fruition. So I'm trying to think of what else is going on. I'm going to be making my little brother's top 10, but just got to get his list and make that happen. I did my brother's, I did my best friend. A few more lists will come. Thank you for my 2 new subscribers. That was pretty cool. Since I started this, I've got 3 more subscribers, so 3 more is I really appreciate you guys. Even in the future, if I get like 2 more subscribers, it's 4 more. I had 25 subscribers, and that's how all these channels started, man. They all started from the ground up. Not all of them. I think some of them are plants, or some of them just keep getting obvious, staying obvious there. But I don't know anymore who's like a regular like YouTuber who got a startup and then was successful. I don't really watch YouTube like that, and I don't really follow too many different people like that. So, but I did hit like 135 fucking videos made. This will be 136. So, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would have 136 videos. And that's how when I had like 200 videos, when I have 300 videos, it'll be pretty cool, man. Like, looking back at my videos, especially when I get older, and be like, hey, I'm happy that I made these, because even now when I look back at my old job, I can look back at my old job and be like, damn, man, remember when I worked at fucking Tremco? I mean, that whole video started because I drove by one of my previous workplaces and I was like, dude, remember how terrible that was? So, I don't want to ruin this job that I'm at now. I feel like I need to just do a lot better. I don't really know where to start doing better. I think I just need to reconvene with my supervisor and really hit the ground running and just do like I do in my own life, just push and restart and be like, hey, like, get back to what you're, like, get back to it. So that's naturally going to happen. Maybe tomorrow I'll come in and do that, because I have a new guy coming in tomorrow. And so if I really start fresh with him and really push the things that need to be done, he's like my brother's age too, so he's kind of falls in that demographic. Again, these are my guys, so I can't give a crazy amount of information, but the basic thing is he is the same age as my brother. So, but yeah, I just need to do better at my job, because I want to keep this job. Come October, I will be there a year, and that's pretty crazy. Like, when I started this job, it was like, I was working factories, I was working manufacturing, and I got my degree. But getting my degree, I was like, it's like, that's something. Like, I got it in psychology, and I worked pretty hard to get it because I'm not that good at school. And I think everyone going to school does work hard, so I'm not that good at school. So eventually, I had my associates, I got my bachelor's, and I just never thought I was ever going to have that. So, I finally got it, and it was a pretty big accomplishment. But come with that, I was like, dude, there's no way that I'm going to get a job. Like, it's going to take a while. I'm probably still going to be in this manufacturing, area for a while, because again, I didn't really have too much expectations about where this was going to lead me. And I started applying, and eventually I landed on one job, and they really, that was terrible. I landed on one job, but I would have to driven a lot, which I do in this job, but I knew it wasn't the same. Like, and then this was the second job I applied to, and they were like, you want to do an interview? And I went in, and the interview, like I've said it many times before, I was like, that was the best interview I've ever had. Like, not even close. Like, I've had good interviews in the past. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I've had interviews like Tremco. I knew I was going to get the job. But then I had other interviews that I was like, dude, there's no way that I'm going to get this job. Like Marmon and even Senior. I was like, dude, like, that was cool, you know, like, good interview. But then they gave me a call back pretty much immediately. So I think that I am pretty good at interviews. You know, I don't think I'm a dummy. So, come on, bro. I need to get over there. Thank you. One of the worst fucking intersections over here. But I think that I'm actually pretty good at interviews. Usually when I do an interview, they offer me the job. So, but with this job, I was like, dude, I don't even have my degree. So I didn't even have my degree at the time. And then to add on top of that, like I did not have my degree. And then I had no experience in the field besides High Point. And High Point was more like, go over, check rooms, you know, check if everyone's good, and do that type of stuff. So it wasn't really in the same vein. While this job's more like, hey, sit down with someone, talk with them, make sure they have everything that they need, etc. So I was really worried when I left that interview. I was like, that was the best interview I've ever gone, but there's no way that I'm gonna get that job. But I was like really like hoping for it. I was like, man, I really hope I get that job because it would be different, and you know, which it was. You know, it is completely different, and it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. You know, and it's right. I mean, it is the best pay because when I look at previous jobs, I'm like, there was always an asterisk to go along with it. Like, what the fuck is going on? There was always an asterisk to go along with it because it was either the drive was ridiculous. So when I worked at Westfield, I made roughly right around $27 an hour, and that was back in 2017. But I had to drive. You know, if I wanted to go home the same day, I would have to drive 4 hours a day, like in my own car. And they didn't pay for gas or anything, so it was pretty ridiculous. But then this job, it's like I get good pay. Like I get like, now with the raise, I'm gonna get $26 an hour. So I would say this job's obviously better paying because I don't have that huge. I didn't have to foot that bill. So you know, this is the best paying job I've ever had. It's pretty close to home, so you know. Now it's just working on getting my disability higher and paying off some of these old bills, and I'll be pretty set from there. So overall, financially, I'm doing better definitely than I've done in the past. I've had different periods where I've been lucky with getting folk rehab, and folk rehab can sometimes be, you know, $3,000, $3,500 every month. So the price is pretty crazy, but you know, that it also comes with, you know, going to school and making sure that you stay up with it. But I mean, if you give that opportunity to someone who's in school, like, of course they're gonna be like, dude, that's crazy. Like, you're so lucky. So, you know, I always put it like, even with like everyone who like thinks about going to school and everything like that, I'm always like, dude, go to school. Like, if you're in the military, go to school with the GI Bill. Go to school. Like, you are crazy not to try to go to school, because yeah, it might be difficult, and it's coming from someone who's thinks it's very difficult. But you will get a better paying job. You will get paid to go to school, and you get a degree that lasts forever. So do it, man. Like, you know, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't almost have a year in this field, and a year goes a long way. A year is like, you know, I finally have a year of experience that I can put on my resume being a peer support case manager. So that's pretty huge. But yeah, this was just a little random update, and you know, I appreciate you guys listening. And this video wasn't much, but you know, I expect to get back to it and do better. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all, and I will see you next time.